Mr. Speaker, in just a moment, will request a moment of silence, but before I do, I stand here with other members of the South Carolina delegation, save our colleague Jim Clyburn, who right now is back home visiting with aggrieved families on the coast of South Carolina. And many of us, like Senator Scott and others, will be going back during this week to visit with those same families. I'm joined as well by members of the Black Caucus and members of this body who have been deeply shaken by the events of this last week in Charleston, South Carolina. I rise with this group on behalf of the 9 families who have been impacted back home, on behalf of the people of the 1st District of South Carolina, and on behalf of the people of South Carolina who have shown a whole lot of heart and a whole lot of love here over the last week. And I say this because less than a week ago, as we all know, a young man with incomprehensible malice came into the Mother AME Church on Calhoun Street in Charleston, South Carolina, and did the unthinkable as he joined a Bible study and he gunned down 9 of the members, the parishioners there in the church. But fortunately, our story doesn't end there, because the family members of the victims also did the unthinkable. I say that because there at the bond hearing, they did the unimaginable, the incomprehensible, in, I guess, showing human grace. It's a reflection of God's grace and what's talked about in Romans in not repaying evil with evil, but repaying evil with good. Because at the bond hearing, the first family comes up and they say, I'm in incomprehensible pain, but I forgive you. Next family comes up, I'm in incredible pain, but I forgive you. And those were the words that were repeated by each of the 9 families: I forgive you, I forgive you, and I forgive you. And that set in motion and, if you will, set the stage this last week in Charleston for a level of community that I've never before seen in my life, and amazing things done at the church and in the community at large. And it's for that reason that we all stand here to remember the names of the 9 victims and to pause for a moment of silence here in just a moment. If I might, let me read the names of the victims. Would you all stand for one moment? The Reverend Clementa Pinckney, Tawanda Sanders, Cynthia Hurd, the Reverend Sharonda Coleman Singleton, Mira Thompson, Ethel Lance, the Reverend Daniel Simmons Sr., the Reverend D. Payne Middleton Doctor, and Susie Jackson. Would you all join me and join us in a moment of silence?